We're flying over the Skåne region of southern Sweden to look at how we need to adapt our navigation methods when facing a snow-swept landscape. We're flying southbound towards Söderfjärden Lake, which you can see up ahead. The low winter sun is lighting up the lake nicely, making it a great feature to use. We need to ensure that we are protecting the aircraft and its systems against the cold. The airspeed indicator works by measuring the pressure of the oncoming air inside the pitot tube, which you can see on the underside of the left wing. If this tube becomes obstructed by ice, it will stop functioning and we will get unreliable readings on the airspeed indicator, ASI. The pitot tube is fitted with an electronic heating element, which we can turn on to prevent ice. Turn on the pitot heat using the switch by your right knee. You may need to hide the yoke. Good, now the pitot will stay warm and won't give us any trouble in these cold conditions. Unhide the yoke if you need to. The lake is near to the border of Malmö airspace. We'd like to enter the Malmö CTR so that we can fly west towards Malmö city. Tune Sweden Control into COM1, frequency 134.98. Sweden radar, Sierra Echo Foxtrot Sierra Alpha, 2,400 feet, Söderfjärden for Malmö zone transit.
Sierra Echo Foxtrot Sierra Alpha, Sweden radar. Be advised we have a radar system failure in Malmö, causing low radar performance. Remain outside.
Roger, Sierra Echo Foxtrot Sierra Alpha will monitor your frequency. Looks like we're going to have to take the long way around Malmö Airport. We had planned for this as we can never guarantee that a transit will be approved, so we just need to fly our planned route. Once we reach the lake, we'll fly our leg to Ystad. Be sure to be stable at 2,400 feet and 100 knots as we reach the lake. Now turn to heading 141 en route to Ystad. This leg will be for 8 minutes. We're monitoring Sweden Control with COM1. It's cold outside, but indications are in the green and pitot heat is on. Fuel level looks more than enough for our route to Malmö city. We'll use an en route fix of Kragaholms Lake, which is the last and most southerly of this group of water bodies. We have planned for a wind of 130 at 10. Let's talk about how things look different after snowfall. Many features that would have been useful in the summer have now been obscured, although most major features such as highways, airport runways and railway lines will be kept clear of snow. The lakes along our route look to be easily identifiable today, but be aware that when frozen, their shapes and appearance can change, or be covered completely by snowfall. Minor roads will often be blanketed and not visible from the air, so these may be unreliable for use as a waypoint. Keep us on course towards Ystad and we'll check our drift at the lake, our en route fix. We're now reaching our en route fix. The route centre line passes through the small island within this lake, so use the drift lines on the map to estimate any drift and double that drift to get a heading correction. Our next leg takes us from Ystad westbound, but we need to dip underneath the CTA as we were not permitted to enter due to the radar issue. The floor of the CTA is 1,500 feet, so take us down to 1,400 feet, so that we're ready by the time we reach Ystad. Aim to keep 100 knots in the descent to preserve our timings. It looks like we're on track, so no drift corrections are needed. We're getting close to Ystad now. Aim for the roundabout to the north side of town. Here we are at Ystad, so turn right heading 238. This leg has an ETE of 9 minutes. We'll continue to monitor the radar frequency in case they reopen. Let's check that the heading indicator remains aligned with the compass. That's looking good. Engine temps are still okay, and the fuel is checked. This leg takes us to the southernmost tip of Sweden, Smygahuk, and we will use the town of Abercourse as our fix. We should pass overhead the town of Abercourse, our en route fix. Using the drift lines on the map, let's check our tracking. Looking good, we're right on track. Coastlines are very useful in the winter months, as the sea does not freeze unless in an extremely cold part of the world. This means that the coastline remains unchanged through the year, but you may lose some potential point features along its length if they become obscured. Keep us at 1,400 feet. Getting near to Smeaker Hook, aim for the small marina on the coastline. Carry on tracking the coast as we make our way around Malmö Airport airspace. Make a right turn to heading 279. Good. This heading will also track the coast as we're on our way to the canal at Hullviken. ETE for this leg is 8 minutes, using the harbour at Trelleborg as our en route fix. Trelleborg is a major ferry port, allowing transport to Germany and Poland, and is known as the Continental Bridge. As we pass overhead Trelleborg, we can compare our tracking with the route drawn on the map. It looks like we're right overhead the Trelleborg harbour, putting us on track. We're looking for the canal through Hulviken. This is the Falsterbo Canal, which opened in 1941 to allow safe passage as the route out to sea was heavily mined in the Second World War. We've reached the canal, so turn right heading 005 towards the turning torso building in Malmö. ETE is 7 minutes. We'll get a great view of the city with the Öresund Bridge and turning torso apartment block, which is where we're heading. Let's check that the heading indicator remains aligned with the compass. That's looking good. Engine temps are still okay and the fuel is checked. Now that we're past Hulleviken, we are no longer underneath the 1,500 foot CTA, so we can climb back up to 2,400 feet. Take us up to 2,400 feet, allowing the speed to come back for a good climb rate. We want heading 005. Great, flying a little higher gives us more options in case we had to glide, and also improves our view and flight efficiency. Look to the left to get a clear view of the Øresund Bridge, where traffic can cross by road or rail towards Copenhagen in Denmark on the other side. At 10 miles in length, this is Europe's longest combined road and rail crossing. Part bridge and part tunnel, the roadway is on top and the railroad below, which stretch out to an artificial island designated as a nature reserve. As we reach the edge of Malmö, keep a lookout for other traffic and places to land in the event of an engine failure. We can clearly see the turning torso up ahead. Tall buildings remain largely unchanged in the winter, making them useful for point features in snowy conditions. Well done. It would have saved us some time by transiting the Malmö zone, but the radar failure caused us to take the long way round, which allowed us to learn something along the way. Next, we'll take a look at how the picture changes after sundown and learn how to find our way after dark.